right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, doubling up? Is it safe to get the flu and COVID shots together? We verify.
Break out the flannel. The chilly mornings ahead this week that'll have you reaching for an extra layer.
But first tonight, crime concerns in the city of St. Louis. From murders to party problems, the group gathering to find solutions. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred. Mike Bush has the night off. Downtown residents say they've had enough of the problems plaguing the streets at night. Our Laura Barczewski is live outside Ballpark Village, where 2 people were shot over the weekend. Laura?
And it happened right here on Walnut, just outside Ballpark Village. And while St. Louis police say this was an isolated incident, bullets ended up hitting nearby vehicles, and it's exactly what residents and people who come downtown are worried about.
It's just getting worse across the boards.
Brandon Overton says as a downtown St. Louis resident, he's tired of gun violence.
I mean, it's starting to get a little bit out of hand as far as the shootings go. I mean, I've been down here about a year and a half, and it's just getting worse and worse.
One of the latest shootings happened outside Ballpark Village. St. Louis police say a man was arguing with his girlfriend and another man tried to intervene. The men ended up firing shots at each other. One hit the man who tried to break up the argument, and the woman was grazed in the leg.
Several vehicles were struck by the gunfire, and the suspect's firearm was recovered as he fled the scene. The male suspect has not been identified.
A spokesperson for Ballpark Village said in a statement, safety and security is their top priority. Quote, while this incident did not occur on our property, our security officers were able to quickly observe and report it to the St. Louis police. St. Louis police are also dealing with another problem, unauthorized parties at vacation rentals and now even a hotel. Saturday night, the Embassy Suites called police to clear out a party.
The downtown bike unit responded and assisted with clearing the halls of the hotel. Numerous people were armed with weapons. The problem properties unit will begin work with hotel management and ownership to hold individuals accountable for their actions of this disturbance and also the unauthorized large gatherings that were in place.
St. Louis police are hoping this does not become a trend. Residents say the people doing this have no respect for their surroundings.
And it really bothers me quite a bit sometimes, you know what I mean? Because these people, they have no respect for the building because they don't really live here. They're just here for a little bit of time, just to have a good time.
Both incidents are under investigation, and the public safety director says as for the hotel party, they're going to work with hotel management to make sure they develop a strategy and a plan so this doesn't happen again. Reporting live in downtown St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
Tonight, St. Louis police are investigating a deadly shooting just north of downtown. Officers were called to a gas station near 13th and Cass this afternoon. They found a man shot to death in the backseat of a car. Investigators say he was not shot at that location. They believe he was shot while riding in the car. Police are questioning the driver. So far, no arrests. St. Louis County Police are investigating a deadly shooting in South County. 2 women were shot at the Southmore Apartments off Tesson Ferry. One of them died. The other was treated and released from the hospital. Investigators say the shooting stemmed from an argument. Anyone with information, please call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Tonight, a massive warehouse fire in Sauget, Illinois is under control. The fire broke out this afternoon at the Eagle Industrial Park off Mississippi Avenue. We've made several calls tonight to Sauget Fire and have not heard back about a possible cause or any injuries. No word on what was stored inside of that building. Tonight, Hurricane Ian churning in the Caribbean. This is how the massive storm looks from the International Space Station. Right now, the Category 2 hurricane is bearing down on the Cayman Islands and Cuba and is already causing flooding and widespread damage. Hurricane Ian is expected to strengthen before making landfall in Florida on Friday. Here's a live look at Tampa. Mandatory evacuations are already underway. The entire state is under a state of emergency tonight. Floridians are now racing to prepare for the storm. Lines for gas are long. Store shelves are bare as people stock up. It's been a century since Tampa took a direct hit from a hurricane. The storm is expected to bring significant flooding.
This is a really, really big hurricane at this point. The diameter, the width of it's about 500 miles wide.
This could be the storm that we've hoped would never come to our shores.
Tonight, Robert Townsend is looking into the local impact of the storm. But first, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell has the latest on Ian's track. Scott?
Well, Ian, we just got an update on Ian from the National Hurricane Center just at the top of the hour, and an updated track as well. It continues to strengthen here. Winds are now up to 105 miles per hour with this storm, and gusting higher than that. Still moving at the north-northwest at about 13 miles per hour, and it is approaching the western tip of Cuba, that southwestern tip of Cuba, and will eventually, during the overnight hours into tomorrow, move into the southeastern portions of the Gulf of Mexico. With that in mind, it will be approaching the west central Florida Gulf Coast as we head towards Wednesday afternoon, with winds around 120 miles per hour. Keep in mind the slow movement over the next couple of days to get this onshore will mean a prolonged heavy rain situation, in addition to that storm surge, which is kind of like the wall of water, if you will, just kind of moving in over those low-lying areas. So this is going to be a prolonged experience as the folks there have to deal with it. And we're going to be looking at that track being adjusted a little bit before it makes landfall along about Wednesday or into Thursday. Now, even though Hurricane Ian is hundreds of miles away, the impact is being felt right here at home. Our Robert Townsend is talking to some St. Louis folks that are dealing with the effects of this storm. Hi, Robert.
Hey there, Scott. Today I talked to multiple contacts who have ties to Tampa. Now, I learned the big storm is impacting local families in big ways.
We've been watching things. We've been having conversations.
Cameo Phillips' 23-year-old daughter, Caleb McKenzie, is a chemist in Tampa. She's lived there for 6 years. For the past few days, this Collinsville mom and her daughter have been tracking Hurricane Ian as it roars towards Florida.
Initially, I think she was thinking, oh, things will blow over.
After the Category 2 hurricane strengthened, prompted evacuations, and threatened dangerous storm surges, Phillips and her husband took no chances. Monday afternoon, they put their daughter on an emergency flight out of Tampa and flew her back to the St. Louis area.
She's a little nervous. It didn't take much convincing to have her come home. She will be here for a while. Mom and Dad won't let her go back home until all coasts are clear.
When we got up this morning, we went on a charter fishing excursion.
But hours later, Tim McDonald and his wife's last week of their 3-week Florida vacation,
It's done already ruined my vacation.
took an unexpected turn due to Hurricane Ian.
We had a message on our condo that we were getting evacuated off the island.
The couple learned by noon on Tuesday they and everyone on the small island of Siesta Key must leave due to the intensifying storm. Siesta Key is about an hour from Tampa. Tim is a longtime technical director at the Muni in Forest Park.
We have a buddy in Nokomis, which is south of here about 30 miles, and we're going to go stay with him. It kind of stinks, but what are you going to do? Mother Nature's bigger than us.
Now, the Phillips daughter should arrive at Lambert International Airport tonight in about 2 hours. The McDonald's, they weren't so lucky. They're hoping to fly out of Tampa on Wednesday, but they just learned that their flight has now been canceled. The couple is crossing their fingers. They will return to St. Louis on Saturday.
Thank you, Robert. Tonight, the world's top chess champion is breaking his silence on why he quit the Sinkfield Cup at the St. Louis Chess Club earlier this month. Magnus Carlsen withdrew from the tournament after his stunning loss to 19-year-old Hans Niemann. Following the defeat, some accused the up-and-comer of cheating. Today, Carlsen released a statement saying he considered withdrawing prior to the tournament when he learned Niemann was competing because he admitted to cheating in the past. Niemann, who ended finishing 7th, denies that cheating claim. You can read more of Carlsen's statement right now at ksdk.com. Election Day is 6 weeks from tomorrow, and tonight we're learning more about more opportunities for St. Louis City voters to cast their ballots. There will be 12 voting centers open on November 8th. But now city residents can vote at any location in the city. Starting October 25th, voters can fill out early ballots at 4 no-excuse absentee centers. Tonight, St. Louis health officials are looking ahead this fall and winter with COVID caution. The St. Louis County Health Department says our transmission rates are at a severe level, but hospitals are seeing fewer COVID patients. With new variants, doctors say they cannot let their guard down.
We can't just go into seasons unprepared. We have done it in the past. Now we have better idea about what strains may actually be coming toward us.
Health officials are encouraging people to get an updated booster shot. They're available Monday through Friday at the John C. Murphy Health Center and the South County Health Center. Many pharmacies also have them. Doctors also suggest you get your annual flu shot. Our Verify team looks into whether it's safe to get both at the same time. Here's Brandon Lewis.
Walk into any pharmacy and you're probably inundated with advertisements urging you to get a flu shot and an updated COVID-19 booster. Several people on social media are wondering if it's safe to get both vaccines at the same time, or if they should space the two shots out. So let's verify. Can a person get the Omicron COVID-19 booster and the flu shot at the same time? Our sources are the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Food and Drug Administration, Dr. Pyle Coley with the University of Colorado, and Dr. Sarah Lynn Mark, a former senior medical advisor to the White House. Traditionally, the flu vaccine is administered in the fall, ahead of peak flu season in the winter. For the past 2 years, we've also seen cases of COVID-19 spike during these same months as people gather for the holidays. The CDC studied self-reported data from more than 92,000 people who received a booster shot and a flu shot during the flu season and concluded it's safe to administer both vaccines at the same time. The study found that about 10% more people who received both vaccines reported typical symptoms associated with them, like fatigue, headache, and muscle ache, than those who only received the COVID-19 booster. But the reactions were usually mild and went away quickly. So yes, a person can get the Omicron COVID-19 booster and the flu shot at the same time. Both Drs. Coley and Mark tell Verify getting the two shots together is more convenient and may encourage more people to get vaccinated against the flu and COVID-19. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
What would you like for us to verify? Please send me an email, verify@kstk.com. It's a concession curveball some Cardinals fans were not expecting. Tonight, the effort to erase extra charges made on their accounts. New hearing aids are about to hit the market, and they don't require a doctor's note. The questions you should ask before buying over the counter.
The coolest mornings in over 4 months headed to St. Louis this week. The mornings you'll definitely need the jacket, plus the latest on Hurricane Ian.
Just hours ago, NASA successfully pulled off a calculated crash. The DART spacecraft collided with an asteroid millions of miles from Earth. The mission marks the first test in planetary defense, so if an asteroid ever did threaten Earth, we could potentially knock it off course. It will take weeks to calculate how much tonight's impact shifted the orbit of the asteroid. Missouri drivers only have a few more days to file for their gas tax refund. The state started incremental increases to the gas tax last year, but part of that tax is refundable if you've kept your receipts. The deadline to file is Friday. For more information on how to obtain your refund, just text the word gas to 314-425-5355. It's the double and triple. Cardinal fans are not cheering. Several fans at the September 18th game have noticed their credit and debit cards were charged multiple times at the concession stand. Freedom Pay, the company which processes credit card payments at Busch Stadium, says a nationwide glitch led to the extra charges. Financial experts say it's a good lesson in keeping track of errors on your account.
Generally speaking, you have 60 days from the time the mistake is found or the fraud on your statement to report it to your bank or your credit card company.
Freedom Pay says it's now working to remove those extra charges, but adds it could take some time. Get ready for more ads for hearing aids. A recent rule change will make it easier to sell some models over the counter. Consumer Reports explains everything you need to know about the new ways of shopping for a hearing aid.
Judy Mayer has been dealing with hearing loss for the past few years.
Asking people to repeat themselves was the key to, okay, I can't hear you, I have hearing loss.
To give people like Judy better access to affordable hearing aids, Congress passed the Over-the-Counter Hearing Aid Act of 2017, which finally goes into effect in October.
Consumers will be able to buy hearing aids from the stores, online, without needing the intervention of an audiologist or a doctor.
That could save people hundreds, even thousands of dollars. When you're shopping for hearing aids, there are some important questions you should ask, like what's the return policy? Since it can take time to adjust to a new pair, CR says make sure you try them out for at least a few weeks. Also, check out their features. Do they have replaceable or rechargeable batteries? Are they sweat or water resistant? And will they pair to your smartphone via Bluetooth? Do they have a telecoil, which lets you tap directly into assistive listening systems at large events? The FDA rule also standardizes features for hearing aids. For example, all OTC hearing aids must allow users to adjust the volume. You may think that's an obvious feature, but you'd be surprised by what's available.
I ordered a pair off the internet. They work fine, except you couldn't adjust them.
After trying out several pairs, Judy is happy to be hearing again.
I guess hearing loss affects your life because you miss out on a lot. You don't realize what you have lost until all of a sudden you can hear it.
Mike Bush, 5 on your side.
People with severe hearing loss and those under 18 will still need to see a medical professional for a prescription to get hearing aids. Big changes are coming to two small town staples in Franklin County. Schnucks is taking over the Frykes markets in Union and Sullivan. The Union location will be converted by October 27th. The Sullivan store will stay Frykes until a new Schnucks Fresh location is built near Highway 185. A St. Louis favorite celebrated its 10th anniversary today. Sugar Fire Smokehouse opened its first location in Olivet in 2012. Now there are 15 restaurants in 5 states. Let's get back to Scotty and some Missourians getting a taste of the Northern Lights.
Yeah, a little treat this evening. It didn't seem to last long, but Tyler Schlitt, who is out in Washington, Missouri, managed to capture this. He was out there kind of looking for, Jupiter, which is in the eastern sky, and just about 2 hours ago captured just the hint of the Northern Lights off in the distance on the horizon. We do have a magnetic storm that's a lot stronger than anybody anticipated. It's going to be real iffy if you would get to see it, but rare treat, and he only saw it for a few minutes. Meanwhile, the other thing we're watching is what's down here coming into Florida. Already some bands of showers and thunderstorms right now with some gusty winds here over the Keys, but the big system, of course, and the big problem is the center of Ian, and that's where the strongest winds are, just off to the southwest here of this western tip of Cuba. Winds are now up to 105 miles per hour to go over the western tip of Cuba. It'll stay west of Key West, but this is going to be a big problem across Florida over the next couple of days, really for much of the week. Meanwhile, our skies are mostly clear. We had some of those high clouds earlier today. We have a few more up the road in Iowa slipping southeast, so we'll see a couple from time to time, but for the most part, skies are staying clear. We see our temperatures dropping back into the 50s in town now. Outlying areas even cooler in some cases. Already seeing a few spots dropping into the upper 40s. Warrenton's down to 49 degrees right now. Vandalia and Flora, Illinois at 48. We have 46 down at Cook Station right now. So temperatures really cooling off under that mainly clear sky. And now that the winds have diminished somewhat, they're out of the west at 5 miles per hour. 59 degrees at Lambert. Look how dry the air is. The dew point right now is 39. We only managed to get to 74 today after our morning low of 53 degrees. And tomorrow we'll start around 50 in town, but outlying areas all on the chilly side in the low and mid 40s. And that's not the coolest day that we'll see this week. As we go through the workday tomorrow, not as much wind as we had today, plenty of sunshine, lower 70s. But then we wake up Wednesday morning to temperatures that in some cases may dip into the upper 30s. Places like Washington and Union, Litchfield, over to Vandalia, Flora, Mount Vernon, some of our coldest spots. Even in town, temperatures will only be in the mid 40s. Coolest weather we've had in nearly 5 months. We go through the day on Wednesday. There's plenty of sunshine. The breeze will be out of the north and northeast. Temperatures, though, they're not warming much, only going back into the mid to upper 60s for highs, so staying a bit on the chilly side. Another cool morning as we head towards Thursday morning and again on Friday morning, and then temperatures will begin to moderate as we head over the weekend. We'll get back into the upper 70s. Rosh Hashanah will end tomorrow evening at sundown.
All right, Scott, thank you. Frank, what's coming up?
And who is the single most important Cardinal moving forward? Why was Albert Pujols a 13th round draft pick at one time? And you are going to meet some dogs who are having the time of their lives in the water. Stick around. So the Cardinals can clinch tomorrow in Milwaukee, even though the magic number is 3. The Cardinals own the tiebreaker, so win and break out the champagne. Now behind me may be the key to the Cardinals' postseason success. And I don't know if Jack Flaherty will be in the Cardinals' starting rotation for the playoffs, and I'm not sure if the Cardinals know that either right now. I do know that if Flaherty throws the ball in his next start like he did in his last start, Jack will get a chance in the postseason. He struck out 9 in 6 innings in San Diego last week. He was throwing 97 late with movement. The Flaherty factor is looming. So Joe Robinson on the left saw Albert Pujols play as a young man. Joe, who scouted for over 4 decades with 5 different teams, is in the Greater Midwest Professional Scouts Hall of Fame. Everybody wonders, how did Albert last until the 402nd pick? Joe says people weren't sure about his position and exposure.
He was at Maplewood Junior College. It was hard for some of the scouting directors and national guys to come in to see him. You might have had, a junior college team that didn't play a lot of games. And, how many games did they play that year? I don't really know. I mean, I saw him 3 games. I did have him in. I didn't have him in exactly where maybe I should have had him in.
Nobody did. So the Blues are busy. They have 3 games in 4 days. And in 20 days, they will open up the regular season, and they are going to be good. They were quite good tonight in Dallas against the Stars. This is going to be a one-timer by Josh Levo for the goal. He had 2 of them. Logan Brown had another. The Blues go on to win it. The final was 4-0. Confession. In terms of love, it's my wife and kids and then my dogs. And sometimes not in that order. Adore the dogs. Recently, photographer Tom Stasiak and I caught up with some incredible pooches having a great time. This handsome black lab named Rydell is with an organization called CHAMP. They train and place assistance dogs.
Yay, Ricey, you're such a good boy.
Rydell has a big job, too. He's an on-call courthouse dog.
Good boy. And he goes into the Mel Carnahan courthouse and works with children who are going through a deposition, and they're describing some of the most horrific things that have happened to them. If you put a dog in there on the sofa next to the child, and the dog places his head in their lap, sometimes they're in there 2 hours. But that dog is incredible. It makes an incredible difference for him.
That's a lot of stress.
After we do a courthouse deposition, go! Rydell likes to go swimming.
Favorite thing to do. Come on, buddies.
Welcome to dog sports at Kim's in Caseyville, Illinois. Dog heaven, if you will.
Okay, boys, one at a time now.
And they all participate in a sport called dock diving.
Okay, Zane.
The object is to not necessarily catch the rope, but just leap as far as you can.
Awesome, bud.
Zane.
Okay, Zane.
And Zuko.
Okay, Zook.
The border collies are champions.
Come here, boys. Down.
And they can't get enough of it. They compete all over the country in dock diving.
This is definitely the biggest stress reliever for our dogs. I mean, they would pick swimming over everything. Just like trying to get a little kid out of the pool when you're like, okay, you've had enough. I mean, they do not want to stop.
There's Dolly, the English Springer Spaniel, and of course Shiloh.
Yay!
The little Westie's competitive too.
Go, Ray.
Rydell doesn't compete,
Attaboy.
but this service dog needs a little downtime and enjoys jumping and swimming.
It's just fun to see your dog get out and enjoy their life. And what people don't realize, we have service dogs as well that help people with disabilities. And that's hard work, but these dogs have to be dogs.
Okay, Zane.
And they certainly are in this wonderful dog heaven right across the river. I got to tell you, those dogs do so much in terms of helping people out during stressful times. CHAMP is really a great organization.
That Shiloh was so cute.
Yep.
Little thing. All right, Frank, thank you. Amazon Prime Day, Part 2. The holiday deals just 2 weeks away. Amazon is hoping to get a jump start on holiday shopping. The online retailer will host an early access sale for Prime members only on October 11th and 12th. It's the first time Amazon has held 2 Prime Day events in the same year. The event promises hundreds of thousands of holiday deals. A Chicago couple is wowing their neighbors and the internet with this Halloween display. You may have seen this on social media. It features the character Max from Stranger Things levitating over their driveway. Everyone wants to know, how did they do it? But they're keeping the mystery to themselves. They are offering it is not drones or balloons. Incredible. That is 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next. Guests tonight, Nick Kroll and Jana Bush Hager. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.